All right, fight fans, welcome back to Ski Mask Weight Boxing. Um, I have to tell you, I might gotta apologize to the people that's been saying Boots ducked Virgil Ortiz, and because I just received the truth about Eddie Hearn speaking on the situation, and to me, from what Eddie have said in this clip I'm gonna play, it looks like Boots ducked him. I mean, I don't care what people are talking about. As far well, I don't care what Boots is talking about unifying at 147. I mean, because Virgil was a name that you had dropped when he was at 147, saying that you wanted to fight him, and then moving along, you saying you were going to move to 154 because nobody wanted to fight you at 147, and then Virgil name is shot to you and everything, and you saying you want to unify now at 147. I have to. I might gotta apologize. Well, I think I do have to apologize because I'm gonna play this clip what Eddie Hearn has said about Jaron supposedly ducking Virgil Ortiz, in which Eddie is saying he hasn't ducked him, but in my eyes, from what he mentioned in this clip I'm about to play, Boots ducked him. Boots ducked him, and I have to apologize to my listeners and to my subscribers, man. I truly apologize. Barring that, I'm not saying that Boots can't beat Virgil Ortiz, but he definitely reneged on what he said previously to leading up to him getting this offer from which Eddie is talking about. So take a listen, and I'll be right back to give you my 2 cents, and we'll be out of here.
Okay? Virgil Boots. There's been a lot of talk. There was negotiations. There wasn't. What are your thoughts on this whole fracas?
To be honest with you, I think it's been built up a little bit more than what it is. So I'll tell you, it's quite simple. After his last fight, he said in the ring, I may move up to 154. I need a little bit of time, blah, blah, blah. We started talking about the landscape. We've made a lot of offers to guys at 147 to unify against Boots. We also spoke to His Excellency about the potential for an Ortiz against the Boots fight. When we received the initial offer, it was at £147, which surprised me. And I went back to those guys to double check, and then they confirmed no, it was at 154. I then spoke to Boots and said, you need to make a decision. Are we moving to 54 or are we staying to unify at 147? And he sort of said to me, well, how long have I got to make a decision? I said, about 24 hours, 48 hours. And he said, I want to unify at 147. That's what I want to do. So I know that everybody loves that fight, but whilst it's in a different weight class, it's not something we're going to do now. You will see Boots in a massive fight at 147 next. You can take this to the bank. He will not be moving to 154 and fighting somebody else. We had to make a decision then and there about what he wants to do next, and his decision was to stay and unify at 147. That's what will happen next. And yeah, I think it got blown a little bit out of proportion. And I was honest in that when we received the offer, it was at 147. It wasn't what I believed was the case. So when I went back a couple of days later, they confirmed it was at 154. And then Boots had to make a decision quite quickly. Do you want to give up your belt or do you want to move to 54? And he said, I want to unify. So you will see him in a unification next.
What would you, obviously you're moving in the same direction with him. I don't want to put you against Boots, but what would your advice have been? Did you want to see him stay at 147 or go to 154?
I want to see him unify, if I'm honest. The frustration has been we couldn't make the unification before and he had to fight Tudasian. Ideally, we would have unified then. And I think if we'd done that, I think he would have potentially taken the fight against Ortiz. I love the fight against Ortiz. So does Boots, by the way. I think style-wise, everything, I think it's a great matchup. But when he tells me he wants to stay at 47 to unify, I can't blame him for that. And it's not like he wants to stay at 47 to take an easy fight. He's up for anybody in a division. But I just feel like, you know what he said to me? He said, the reality is, I've never really won a championship at 147. He said, I won the interim title that upgraded me to full champion. He said, so I'm yet to fight a champion at 147, and that's what I really want to do. So when the fighter tells me that, I respect it, and I think, I don't mind the decision. I would have loved him to be part of a Riyadh season card, and, we planned for Boots to be on a Riyadh season card with His Excellency, but it would involve him vacating his title. and moving up. And he's not going to do that. So once he decides he's not going to do that, the fight's not really there. So I think he's a bit disappointed with the reaction, because if it was a defence of his 147 or if he was a 154 fighter and he turned it down, I think you'd have a lot of grounds to give him criticism. But whilst it's not his weight class, it's a simple decision. And like I said, you're not going to see him move to 54 and fight somebody else. If he moves to 54, the Ortiz fight for me is the perfect fight for Boots.
Yeah, I mean, it sets him up for another name he's been calling for in Crawford, which is why I think people were taken aback, because it seemed like some of the things he said he wanted to do were there for him, but he's made his decision.
He said before, I want to unify. Like he said that.
He has.
That's why we took the Chidazian fight. So part of me, I spent a lot of money on that fight, right? I didn't really want to spend, but he told me I really want to unify at 47. That's my dream. So I paid up for the Chidazian fight. So if we would have gone up to fight Ortiz, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But it's still like, I wish we would have done that without doing the Chidazian fight, because that cost us a lot of money. We're a team. We're in it together. I back him 1,000,000%. And I promise you, he will be in a mega fight in, maybe not Philadelphia, but maybe Philadelphia in March or April time.
Now, 147, when you say a massive fight, the only name that comes to my mind that would seem like a massive fight, because the other ones are great, they're good fights, they're unifications.
All unifications are big fights.
Okay.
There are a couple of conversations outside the unifications, which are huge fights, and I'm not going to go into them, but Boots is still priorities fight the champions. So, of course, there's the Marios Barrios potential. There's the Brian Norman potential. There's the Stanionis potential. Any of those guys, I'm happy with. You know what I mean? But there are a couple of other conversations, which I'm not going to go into, but I need to bounce back with something big for Boots. Because if we're going to turn down Ortiz and make this decision, we better deliver something that the fans go, fair. And I promise you, when we make our decision, you guys will turn around and go, all right, we wanted to see the Ortiz fight, but we get it, and this is a great fight.
If it's not a unification, 147.
And there you have it. We don't really need to listen to no more, because that right there lets me know Boots ducked Virgil Ortiz, because the simple fact is he could have won up to 154. He could have vacated his belts at 147, went up, fought Virgil Ortiz, because he had already said he wanted to fight Virgil when Virgil was 147, but you know he had all of them problems making the weight. That's why he moved up. Boots said in his last fight, I guess against Karen, that he said he wanted to move up to 154, and you know, we find out what I just played, what Eddie's saying, you know, and like I said, to me, Eddie is protecting something from what I was listening to, and to me, Boots, I mean, you gotta call it what it is. You gotta call a spade a spade. You know, he was, to me, he was scared. I can't call it no other way, because when you in the game, when in the boxing game, you could come back. He could have went to 54 and fought Virgil Ortiz and came back down, and then still dominated 147 like he so-called was, you know, saying, and how I was praising him, how everybody was praising him. And because of his last outing, and I just didn't never think that, you know, Boots he's not a bad fighter, or he got exposed. It's just Karen was better than what people expected, and I really believe that. And like I said, but I think that Boots need to brush up on his defense. But at the same time, maybe his confidence slipped. You know, maybe his confidence slipped. But he ducked Virgil Ortiz from what Eddie said, and Eddie is being kind to me. Eddie is being kind, because I'm more of the fact that, no, Negro, you sit up there and told me you was going to 54 anyway. We got this opportunity to fight him. I would have been like, no, let's push for this fight. Move up and you can come back down and get all of the belts and unify and all of that other stuff. Forget the belts, it's the money we got to get, brother. This is legacy. The belts are going to come if you perform at the level that you telling everybody that you are the next up. You the next Floyd Mayweather, you the next Roy Jones Jr., you the next this and next that. No, Negro, you need to go up and fight these. These are opportunities that you will never get again. Because if Virgil fight Because they're saying that Virgil supposed to fight the guy Madrimov that fought Crawford. If Virgil lose to him, all of this stuff go away. Virgil has to beat Madrimov in order for the excitement for him and Boots. Not really saying, I can't say that, but it does. It won't have that same, both of them have undefeated records fighting one another. You see what I'm saying? And you're going to garner more money when it was built up in the 147 division that these two undefeated fighters who were dominating everybody, knockout ratio is about the same. Now Virgil couldn't make 147 anymore, and he had health scares because of it. He moved to 154, and Boots was telling everybody he going to 154 because he couldn't fight nobody at 147. Nobody wanted to fight him, and now you get an opportunity, and you telling me you want to stay and unify? When these people you already been saying that nobody want to fight you, so you making yourself look dumb. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta apologize. I gotta apologize to my listeners and those people who told me I'm always, well, he said people always protecting Boots. I'm not protecting them no more because Eddie right here told you exactly what. And to me, Eddie is protecting him more than what really was said. So to me, Boots. I gotta agree with Sean Porter. Boots is overrated. He is now, man. I got to say that because when you in the fight game, listen to me. I'm telling you, you are called a prize fighter. Forget the titles. It's about the bread, the prize. What is the prize? Especially if you've been harping. This is why I was telling you I don't like Shakur Stevenson. It's the same thing. The same thing. You harping about you want to fight Tank. You get released out of your contract with I'm sorry I'm yelling, but I'm just disappointed in a way at myself for not seeing this. And people, the writing was on the wall. But anyway, you get out Stevenson, I'm talking about. You get out of your contract with Top Rank. And Espinoza and PBC offer you a one-fight deal to fight Tank. And you sit up there and don't take it because you want a long-term fight deal? No, Negro, you ducked him. You ducked Tank because that's what your big bro, Terrence Crawford did. He took the one-fight deal to fight Earl Spence because why would you want a long-term deal if you lose? Now I can't make no money off you and I just signed you to a long-term deal? No, you've been hollering about Tank ducking you, so here, we're giving you a one-fight deal, but he turned it down. Then he get online and lie about it and tell him that Espinoza is lying. Why do Espinoza gotta lie? What benefit is it for him to lie to the fans about what y'all had negotiated, and you gonna sit up there and do the same thing when you were offered it was Devin Haney. You told everybody when Devin Haney sent you that offer, and then you talking about he didn't send you no offer, but you had already previously told everybody, man, we ain't doing no 75-25 or 70-30 split or whatever, and you didn't have no bigger name than no Devin Haney at the time. And I'm surprised I even mentioned him. I'm sorry I mentioned your boy from Nevada, Henderson, Nevada, whatever, because I didn't want to mention him. But I'm just saying, I'm using that as an example to show you how much Shakur been lying. And he's a duck. He's a big old duck. And I hope Schofield knock him out. I pray that Schofield put him to sleep. But I pray he wake up and he be all right and everything. But I just pray that he get humbled, because these dudes, they're not humble. And Boots not a rah-rah type of guy. That's why I liked him. He's not like Shakur. He's not on internet talking all crazy to folks and all that. That's why I like Boots. He's like a throwback fighter, but at the same time, he ducked Virgil Ortiz. He ducked him. But yeah, he ducked Virgil Ortiz. And like I said again, I apologize to my listeners. I apologize for anybody who said in my comments, and I was like, saying what I said. But I didn't really, like I said, I just believe Boots is a great fighter and everything. And I still think he's a great fighter. I just think maybe his confidence has slighted or whatever. But he ducked Virgil. He ducked Virgil. He ducked him on this one. He ducked. I don't care what nobody say, because when you get the opportunity to fight, man, it ain't about your belts. It's about that opportunity. It's about that opportunity. Forget them belts. Man, you got to pay money on the belts anyway. The sanction bodies are getting 3% of the purse that you get just for the belt. So you paying to keep the belt. So what the hell? Forget the belts. I'm a prize fighter. I'm trying to get the money, man. So, but that's all I got, man. Boots ducked Virgil Ortiz, man. He ducked him. And I don't care what he say, because his promoter shielded him from what Eddie was saying. It was worse than that. To me, it's worse than that, because, I didn't hear Boots say he wanted to fight Virgil Ortiz, or I didn't hear him say he's going up to 154. I didn't hear him say nobody wants to fight him at 147. He can't make a fight and this and that. People are ducking him. I heard him say that out of his own mouth myself. So with this come across the table, and you can fight no matter where it is. Nigga, a fight. See, that's why I'm saying ain't no real fighters anymore. I don't care where we are. We fighting. We can go, we can fight on the moon. And if they got some stands where some people can watch, we fighting on the moon. I don't care. That's what the fighters do. We're prize fighters. See, these people that talk about the belts and all that, nah, the belts that's just extra plus. I ain't tripping on no belt because I gotta pay to keep the belt. That's why I don't understand, nigga. You got to pay to keep the belt and you worried about unifying? Forget that, nigga. You can come back down. You can vacate your titles and come back down to 147 after you fight Virgil at 154 and then get everything back. Nigga, this ain't no revolving door. You can go wherever you want to go. You can do whatever you want to do. It ain't like they gonna stop you from coming back to 147. You can go to 135 if you want to. You can go to 140 if you want to. Nigga, if you get on crack, you can go to 160, 112. It don't matter. You can do what you want to do. You are a free agent when it comes to this boxing game. Depending on, you signed to Matchroom now, so he got the, but he still gave you the offer. You don't want to say you can make your own choice. The fighters make it happen. The promoters just stand behind you when they want to put up the money. And Eddie was definitely one to put up the money, but you ducked him, man. You ducked him, man. I don't care what nobody says. You ducked him. And like I said again, and I'm about to close, here at Ski Mask Way Boxing, man, we apologize to all of our listeners for all of the things we said about Jaron Boots Ennis. I like him as a fighter still. I still think he's a great fighter. I still think he's a great talent. But in this situation, by what Eddie Hearn, you just heard it on the video, on the audio that I played, Jaron Boots Ennis ducked Virgil Ortiz. And I still think he could beat Virgil Ortiz. But that's neither here nor there. But he ducked him for real. He ducked him. And with that opportunity, I'd have took it. I wouldn't have asked Eddie how much time we got, because Eddie told him, he said, you got 24 to 48 hours. I wouldn't have asked. As soon as he said, I want to, they want you to fight Virgil Ortiz at 154 on Riyadh season. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. You work out the money, make sure I get my fee, because they got that standard fee now with Jaron because he's a champion. But I'd have vacated that belt quick. I'd have said, yeah, put it together. I'd have said, Pops, get my shoes, get my boots. Let's get to running. We got to go training. I'm fighting Virgil Ortiz. Yeah, I'd have did that quick, fast, in a hurry. I don't need no 48, 20. I don't need no time to decide that. That's why I know he ducked, because I'm a fighter. I look at it like, nigga, I'm fighting. Whatever. I don't care who you are, what size, nigga. Let's go. Let's go. The only person I'm scared of is the Lord Jesus Christ. Other than that, me and you could go right now. I don't care who you are. You understand what I'm saying? That's how you supposed to have the attitude. And he ducked that boy, man. He ducked Virgil Ortiz. And again, I'm closing. I said I was gonna close, but look. I apologize. Please forgive me, because I was really high on Boots. I still am high on his talent, but his confidence, I'm telling you, his confidence is everything, man. His confidence got weak, man. His confidence got weak, but man, so I hope he redeem himself. I hope he You know, because I hope he pray that Madrimov don't beat Virgil Ortiz, because Madrimov is not what y'all think he is, because his record, and he got a nice amateur record, man. He's 300-400 amateur fights. He's like a I'm not gonna say he's because he's bigger weight class than Lomachenko, but he has the same type of amateur background as a Lomachenko, man. That's why he gave Terrence some fits. You know, and plus, Madrimov is strong. He's strong in the mug. And, you know, that boy Bubacek or whatever his name, who they didn't get him knockdowns. He gave Virgil Ortiz everything he wanted. He should have got the rematch for real. Bubacek or whatever his name is, the Russian or Ukrainian. I think he's Russian or Ukrainian, one of them. But that's why I was telling folk, these fighters like Karen, they're Russian and Ukrainian, man. These fighters, because you know, Lomachenko was Ukrainian. Man, them fighters ain't like what y'all think. Like back in the day with the UK fighters and all of them, they ain't soft as y'all think. And people, because they don't know their names, they write them off. That's why I said Boots fought a great fighter in Karen. Watch when Karen fights some of these other named fighters, and if he beat them and all that and beat them up, because they're talking about Blair Cobb should be fighting him. I want Blair to fight him. Blair should fight him. Let's see what, you know, let's see, because Blair can fight, but I'm telling you, Karen is a good fighter. He not as sorry as people say he is, but that's all I got, man. Here at Ski Mask Way Boxing, man, we just wanted to apologize one more time for our listeners. Jaron Boost Ennis ducked Virgil Ortiz. He ducked him. So Jaron, I don't care what you say, brother. You ducked that boy. Who cares about unification at 147 when you already told us what you was ready to do in your last fight, that you want to move up to 154, and you got this opportunity and you turn it down talking about you want to unify at 147. Nah, bro, that's not how we do it as fighters, man. We take the challenges, we take the opportunities, because the opportunities may never come again in the fight game, because all it takes is for somebody to lose, and then that same stock that you had is low. So that's all we got, man. Y'all take care and be safe out there, and like we always say, man, Jesus love you. Amen. Take care.